Yeah, I'm in Richmond. I'm in Virginia, man. Hey, they fucking up the water. So let me give y'all an update. I'm in Richmond. I was affected by the situation, but I wasn't affected by the situation. But long story short, Richmond just had a whole water crisis. I don't know if the rest of the country knew because the California wildfires has been the dominating story in the headlines. You didn't know LA is on fire. It is what it is, man. The Palisades them burnt down. A lot of shit them burnt down in LA. So it's a wildfire in LA. That shit is under fire. I don't know much about it. I don't know if the fire has been contained. I don't know if it's containable. I don't know what the fuck going on. It's a lot of shit going on out here. But I'm gonna talk about this water shit in Richmond, Virginia. So if you didn't know, Richmond, Virginia was under a water crisis. And so what happened was the city of Richmond, a lot of people, thousands of people either had no water, so when they went to the sink, the tub, or the shower or whatever, no water came out. Or they had low water pressure, which means that when they went to the shower or the tub or the sink, they turned the water on and a little bit of water came out. So they had no water or they had low water. Thousands were affected for a day or two or three. So that's South Side Richmond, North Side Richmond, East End Richmond, West End Richmond, like Richmond, and then parts of Henrico, and then different parts of Richmond. So Richmond, if you're not from Richmond, Richmond is all over. Pretty much meaning that like if you're from Richmond, if you're in Richmond, you'll be like, I'm from Chesterfield, I'm from Glen Island, I'm from Short Pump, I'm from Henrico. Like a lot of people that's in Richmond, from Richmond, or just living in Richmond, that's what they say. They say, well, I'm from Henrico, or I'm in Henrico, I'm in Chesterfield, I'm in Southside, I'm in this county, that county, I'm in Glen Island, I'm in Midlothian. They'll say all that. People that's not in Richmond, or not from Richmond, or not familiar with Richmond, they look at all that shit as Richmond. Like, you Chesterfield, that's Richmond. Short Pump, that's Richmond. Um, Glen Island, that's Richmond. It's all under the Richmond umbrella. So I'm explaining that to y'all because I'm trying to paint the picture of like how Richmond operates. So yeah, Central Virginia or like the Richmond, the capital, cap city, all that was a lot of people in the city. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people was without water. So they had no water or they had low water. That's the situation. So went from that to, oh well, Richmond City is only affected because Richmond City has a different water system from Chesterfield and from Short Pump or like West Henrico. So different parts of the city, different counties have different water systems and different water treatment strategies. So Richmond people was without water. Like I said, they went to the tub, they went to the sink, they turned the shower on, whatever. They couldn't flush their toilets, they couldn't shower, they couldn't bathe. No water was coming out their spigots, and not only that, but they saying that if you are getting water, we were under a boil water advisory, which means that if you are in the city and if you do have water, then boil it because it's not safe to consume. Which is kind of unique because if it's not safe to consume, then is it safe to shower in? Because they were saying that if you did have water, boil it, but it's good to shower in. I don't know. I don't fucking know. I'm not in Richmond City. I'm in Richmond, but I'm not in Richmond City, so I wasn't really affected by the whole water situation. I had running water. My water was running at normal pace. There wasn't really too much going on with my water. So what happened was they told people that, all right, your water's contaminated, whatnot. They told people their water was contaminated, whatnot, right? So if you do have water, boil it because it's contaminated, whoop de whoop. And it said it's just Richmond City. Then it went from that to being, oh, it's Henrico. And so people that was in Henrico or that are in Henrico, they were like, oh, well, I'm in Henrico, so we good. And it was like, no, well, parts of Henrico have been affected. The parts of Henrico that was affected first was the East End. Then I had to let people know, no, when they say Henrico, they talk about the West. This is gonna be for real. They just they talk. Ooh. They talk about the West. Excuse me, the East. I'm sorry. Let me lock in. When they talk about Henrico, as far as like you know, they really talk about the West End. So when they talk about Henrico, they talk about the West because these people are in the West. These people are in the West. These people are in the East. So when they said that Henrico wasn't affected, they meant the West, not on some elitist shit, not on some anybody's better. It's just fucking racism. It is what it is. So people in the East thought it was good because they said Henrico wasn't affected, but when they say Henrico's not affected, they mean the west end of Henrico. So Eastern people was mad because they lost water, or they had low water, or no water. So like I said, they had no water coming out, or they had low water, or and it was all contaminated. So once people in the East End felt like, oh, we good because we in Henrico, and then they said no, Henrico's affected too, and then like, oh yeah, Eastern Henrico, of course, because Eastern Henrico still uses the city's water. So now people in Eastern Henrico are mad because they thought that they was a part of Henrico won't be affected. But see, if they could help it, they're going to help Western Henrico first. It's like in the Titanic when the people was trying to be saved, they were saving the people that had money, women, children, people with money. If you was poor, they didn't really care. Same thing with Eastern Henrico versus Western Henrico. They want to keep Western Henrico good because of these people. So and the people that cling to these people. So Western Henrico is supposed to be safe, supposed to be good. Well, that kind of thing doesn't happen around here. It's where the money is. It's where the county offices are. It's where the police are. It's where the shopping is. Fancy restaurant, fancy houses. These people. It's where the Republicans are. So Western is what they're talking about when they say, "Oh, the Henrico is not affected." When they talk about the good, when it comes to Henrico, they're talking about the West End. And so people got upset because they're like, well, we're in Henrico too, but they're in the East End because they're majority of this in the East End. So to make it all make sense, the East End Henrico was affected by the water issue. Then they came out with another report saying all of Henrico is affected. Pretty much meaning our East and West, all of Henrico. Because like I said, Richmond is kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? Richmond is a little racism going on. So they had to let you know. All right. To me, this kind of funny though because Western Henrico was good because people in the West End were like, oh, we got water, we good. Our water's good. Our restaurants are open. We're good. We're in the county. That's how they act, and that's like how they act in Richmond or in Short Pump or Western Henrico. They're like, yeah, we're in the Western Henrico. We're in the good part. We're in the suburbs. We're suburban. We're safe. That's how they think. You feel me? Meanwhile, while all this is going on, Chesterfield is like, hey, we Chesterfield, we handled our business. Our water has good redundancy. We have backup plans. We thought this through. We strategized. Y'all go ahead, take y'all baths, take y'all showers. Y'all good. Hey, Chesterfield residents, y'all good. Y'all got clean water. Wash your clothes. Take your showers. Do your dishes. Y'all good. Y'all in Chesterfield, we good. We thought this through. So Chesterfield's good. And then like a couple days later, they're saying that Monument is affected by this Monument Avenue, which is, I'm saying, elite. And then they're saying Goochland was affected. And so they're just saying everybody's affected. And I'm just looking at it like this is crazy because Trump was just talking about how, oh, the water is going to be messing up and there's going to be sprinkles and it's coming from heaven. So I'm like, all right, what are you talking about? What do you know? Because he knows something. So, long story short, that's been what's going on in Richmond. I think they're starting to get it back together. They're starting to get people their water back. People went 2 or 3 days without water. They had to shower at the gyms. People panicked. They bought all the water from the store. It was price gouging. Some people in the city was charging like $25 for 24 packs of water. It was crazy. People was panicking. It was passing out free waters at the wherever, like churches or community centers, things like that. It was wild. People delivering water to other people. They trying to make sure you got some water. Get some water because it was a whole crisis. So that's pretty much what happened in Richmond. I've been in Richmond to see it, so I know what's going on. And it's been stressful for some people because they had no showers, they had no water. The restaurants was closed. Some restaurants was open because the restaurants they can't use no fountain drinks. You know what I'm saying? You can't use any. You can't make no sweet tea. You can't make no lemonade because the water's contaminated or you don't got any water. So it's like, how are you open if you don't got water? It was a lot going on. It's crazy out here though, man. I think everything's starting to get back to normal, but kind of crazy, man. People didn't have any water. People had a little bit of water. The water was contaminated. So yeah, it's rough out here, man. So I think we're getting back to normal. The country's going to shit. Um, I'm trying to figure this out. But yeah, people getting their water. Thankful that this time I wasn't affected. Um, I had water, but you know, you had to use precautions. So yeah.